Thank you for choosing this video. Welcome back to this channel, a haven for Chelsea news updates. This time I'm presenting news about injured Chelsea players and their potential returns, plus some important news from today.
So, find a comfortable seat and grab a drink. And there's a message from Pedro Neto for those of you watching this video.
You subscribe to our YouTube channel.
I hope the number of likes reaches 300. Because by liking this video, I'm even more motivated to provide as much news as possible, as interesting as possible for you.
But wait a minute. I want to express my deepest gratitude to Ibanga Nedem, who has reached over 100 comments, 115 to be exact, on my channel, and also to Okoro Henry, who has even more, 133 to be exact, on this channel.
Bro, more bad news from Chelsea. The injuries in the squad are piling up, and this could spell disaster for their season. Let's break them down one by one to make it clear. First up, Cole Palmer. This is what's causing the most panic among fans. Palmer is again suffering from a groin problem. He forced himself to play against United even though he wasn't 100% fit. The result, he was taken off after just 20 minutes. Maresca said Palmer had a test the morning before the match, wanting to help the team, but the injury recurred. Return date? Not yet clear. This is a tricky injury. Sometimes it's fine, sometimes he's down again. Chelsea really need to keep an eye on him, because Palmer's the brains of their attack. Next one, Dario Asugo. Now this is even worse. Asugo, a 20-year-old player, suffered a thigh injury while playing for Portugal U21. He's had surgery, bro. Recovery is at least 12 weeks, meaning he won't be back until 2026. He just joined Chelsea and then he's out for a long time. What a shame. Next is Liam Delap. New striker Delap also has a problem. He injured his hamstring against Fulham and was taken off after just 15 minutes. Initially predicted to be out for 6 to 8 weeks, but reportedly could be longer after further tests. This means Chelsea's front line is getting thinner. Next, Romeo Lavia and Badiashile. Slightly better news. Lavia and Badiashile both have muscle injuries, the details of which are unclear, but they've started light training. Their return target, October. Not bad. There's a hope they'll be able to re-energize the squad soon. And lastly, we've got Levi Colwill. This is the most devastating. Colwill tore his ACL after a strong performance at the Club World Cup. He's had surgery and he's likely out for almost the entire season. His return date, spring 2026. Definitely a huge loss for Chelsea's backline. If you do the math, Chelsea is now truly a walking hospital. From Palmer, the driving force of the attack, to the newly acquired Delap, to Colwill, who is facing a long-term absence. Maresca is certainly feeling dizzy, especially with the increasingly busy schedule. Carabao Cup, Premier League, and Champions League. The question now is, with such a serious injury situation, can Chelsea consistently compete at the top, or will they struggle due to a thin squad?
Yo, the Carabao Cup draw is out. Chelsea officially faces Wolves in the 4th round. Crazy. After a hard-fought 2-1 comeback against Lincoln, the Blues now have to travel to the Midlands again. Flashback, last season, Chelsea were knocked out in the 4th round after losing to Brighton. So this time, Enzo Maresca clearly wants to prove his team can go further. And interestingly, Wolves are no easy opponent, especially playing at the notoriously haunted Molineux. But there's a new energy, bro. Tyrick George and Facundo Bonanate are on fire. Plus, Malo Gusto has made it clear Chelsea's target this season is to win the Carabao Cup. It's been a long time since they last lifted this trophy, back in 2015. Let me ask you this. Are you optimistic that Chelsea can go all the way in this season's Carabao Cup? Or will Wolves bring a surprise?
Bro, Chelsea has prepared a crazy plan for the future. They want to sign Strasbourg's young defender, Ismail Doucouré. But not now. The target is the summer of 2026. So be patient, Blues fans. Strasbourg rejected many offers yesterday because Blueco, the owners of Chelsea and Strasbourg, already has a solid plan. Doucouré, who is still 22, has had 3 consistent seasons in League One, and Chelsea believes it's time for him to join Stamford Bridge next year so he's better prepared.
But make no mistake, bro, Chelsea can still look for a new defender in January with Joel Ordonez on their radar. This means Doucouré isn't an immediate priority, but part of a long-term project. Let me ask you this. If you were Chelsea, would you rather go for Doucouré now or wait until 2026 to mature?
Bro, transfer gossip is heating up again. Chelsea is apparently interested in Morgan Rogers, the 23-year-old winger who was Aston Villa's mainstay last season. But reportedly, Villa has immediately put up a concrete wall. They absolutely don't want to let Rogers go, even in January. You know, Rogers was absolutely brilliant last season. 54 appearances, 30 goal contributions, and 19 of them in the Premier League. It's understandable that Chelsea would be interested, especially now that the Blues are in need of fresh firepower up front. But of course, Aston Villa still considers him a vital player for Unai Emery's project. His performance has indeed dipped a bit this season, bro. Villa fans are also starting to get frustrated because expectations are so high, but Emery still has full confidence in him. He said Rogers will be key if Villa wants to chase a European spot this season, so don't expect Villa to negotiate now. Chelsea? Hey, they can try to woo him, but it seems like it's just a waste of time. The question is, if Rogers' performance continues to decline, will he be held on to for dear life, or will Villa be tempted to let him go this summer?
Bro, the Carabao Cup 4th round draw just came out, and Chelsea are really unlucky again. After a hard-fought comeback against Lincoln, now the Blues have to travel to Wolves. Wow, this isn't easy. Just imagine, Wolves always give the big teams a hard time at home. Moreover, Chelsea has been inconsistent this season. Arsenal are luckier. They earned a home tie against Brighton after beating Port Vale. Eberechi Eze even scored his first goal for the Gunners. Meanwhile, there's the deadly Newcastle versus Tottenham duel. Wow, this will be a tough test for Spurs because playing at St. James Park is hell, bro. Not to forget, there's also the super hot Welsh derby between Wrexham and Cardiff, plus Liverpool facing Crystal Palace at Anfield. City, bad luck again. They only face Swansea, even though they're aware. But the biggest focus is clearly on Chelsea. The fans must be nervous because if they play like they did against Lincoln, they could get slaughtered by Wolves. So, what do you think? Will Chelsea be able to qualify or will they fall again in the League Cup?
Bro, new news from Cobham. Cole Palmer is apparently still struggling with a groin injury. And crazy, right? Surgery is already on the table, but Chelsea is still determined to find a way to avoid surgery. They're trying to manage his condition step by step so the playmaker can remain Maresca's main weapon. On the other hand, there's some positive news. Young goalkeeper Mike Penders is making the staff smile even more. His progress is reportedly steady. But here's the most curious thing. Chelsea apparently still has some reserve funds for January. So if there's an area that needs strengthening, be prepared for old names to resurface. The question, bro, if Palmer really is out for a long time, do you think Chelsea should buy a new creative player in January?
Bro, that's crazy. Chelsea were nearly humiliated by League One side Lincoln City in the Carabao Cup. The first half? Damn, only 3 shots while Lincoln attempted 9. And to top it off, in the 42nd minute, they conceded. The fans immediately panicked. How could they lose to a third-tier team? So in the dressing room, Enzo Maresca exploded, bro. He admitted he was absolutely angry with his players. Imagine, the coach said absolutely 3 times. That means he was really pissed. But strangely, he didn't immediately change his lineup. And that decision was a surprise too, because just 5 minutes into the second half, Tyreek George and Facundo Buonanotte went into overdrive, making it 2-1. Despite ultimately qualifying, Maresca was firm. Chelsea players must learn. Playing against smaller teams has double the motivation, so never take them lightly. Do you think, is it normal for Maresca to be so angry? Or were the Chelsea players just too lazy in the first half?